Shabbat Shalom. Before we pray, let us bless the Most High. Barku et Yahweh. Barku et Yahweh HaMevarak. Baruch atah Yahweh HaMevarak le'elam vayed. Baruch atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech ha'alam. Asher bekar benu makol hamayim v'natan lanu ha'torah. Baruch atah Yahweh notan ha'torah. That is to say, blessed be Yahweh. Blessed be Yahweh the Blessed One. Blessed be Yahweh the Blessed One for all eternity. Blessed be Yahweh the King of the universe who forever, who selected us from all the peoples and gave us his Torah. Blessed be Yahweh, giver of the Torah. To the Most High, we come to you with bowed heads this morning on your Sabbath day, the one that you have set apart that we shall gather together. This morning, Master, we ask that you will forgive us of our sins, cleanse us of unrighteousness, that our prayers be not hindered this morning. We thank you that you have kept us all week, Master, and allowed us to be obedient to your word and come out today. We come out because we love you first, out of obedience secondly. We thank you, Master, for life, health, and strength, food, clothing, and shelter, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We thank you that you have brought us out of idolatry and that you have showed us your word. And we thank you, Master, that you have kept us, you have sustained us, you have delivered us, you have brought us out, you have kept us this week, and we thank you for keeping our children as they went throughout the highways and byways, and you have brought them home safely to us every evening. We thank you, Master, for our life, health, and strength, food, clothing, and shelter, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We thank you, Master, for all things that you have given us, for all things come from you. Oh, Master, we ask that you will look upon us today with a tender eye, that you would hear our prayer and turn out a deaf ear to our cries, that you would continue to give us mercies every morning, Master, and we thank you, and this is our prayer.
Shabbat Shalom. Oh, come on, Shabbat Shalom. This is the day Yahweh has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. You are the potter, I am the clay. Mold me and make me in your way. I want to be right. I want to be whole. I want to be the one you call your own. You are the potter, I am the clay. Mold me and make me in your way. I want to be right. I want to be whole. I want to be the one you call your own. You are the potter, I am the clay. Mold me and make me in your way. I want to be right, hey. I want to be whole. I want to be the one you call your own. So take me away and wrap me in your arms. Take me away and whisper words of love. Take me away. I want to be your will, Yahweh. Let me be the one. I want to be the one. I want to be the one you call your own. You are the healer that healed me. You're my provider. You provide my needs. I give you my heart. I give you my soul. I want to be the one you call your own. Here we go. So take me away. Wrap me in your arms. Take me away. Whisper words of love. Take me away. I want to be in your will, Yahweh. Want to be the one. Let me be the one. I want to be the one you call your own. Hey, hey. Want to be the one. Let me be the one. I want to be the one you call your own. You are the healer that heals me. You're my provider. You provide my needs. I give you my heart. I give you my soul. I want to be the one you call your own. Here we go. Come on, y'all. So take me, Yahweh. Wrap me in your arms. Take me, Yahweh. Whisper words of love. Take me, Yahweh, to be in your will, Yahweh. I want to be the one. Let me be the one. Hey, I want to be the one wanna be the one you call your own. Hey, let me be the one. I wanna be that one. Wanna be the one you call your own. Here I am. I hear you calling my name. Here I am, Yahweh. I hear you calling my name. I will meet you there. No matter when or where, I hear you calling me. So here I am. Come on, y'all. Here I am. I hear you calling my name. Here I am, Yahweh. I hear you calling my name. I will meet you there. No matter when or where, I hear you calling me. So here I am. Here I am. I hear you calling my name. Here I am, Yahweh. I hear you calling my name. I will meet you there. No matter when or where, I hear you calling me. I hear you calling me. I hear you calling me. So here I am. I will meet you at the throne of mercy. I will meet you at the throne of grace. I will meet you in that special place where I can finally see your face. So here I am. I hear you calling my name. Here I am, Yahweh. I hear you calling my name. I will meet you there. No matter when or where, I hear you calling me. I hear you calling me. I hear you calling me. So here I am. I will meet you at the throne, hey, of mercy. I will meet you at the throne of grace. I will meet you in that special place. Come on, where I can finally see your face. So here I am. I hear you calling my name. Here I am. I hear you calling my name. I will meet you there. No matter when or where, I hear you calling me. I hear you calling me. I hear you calling me. So here I am. So here I am. When you call me, I will answer. When you call me, I will answer. When you call me, I will answer. I hear you calling me. I hear you calling me. I hear you call. So here I am. Here we go. Here I am. So here I am. Hey, here I am. So here I am. I hear you calling me. I hear you calling me. I hear you calling me. So here I am.
Shabbat Shalom to everybody. It's good to be here once again, meeting with you and seeing all of you that are here. Pray that everybody had a wonderful and a good week. I want you to pray for and remember Connie Woodard that was here with Wayne's wife. She's back in the hospital again, and it seems like the cancer has returned, so I want you all to pray for her and keep her on your mind. The book is released. Torah for Hebrews in Exile has been released this week. It's on Amazon. And in this book, I have tried to give everyone an understanding of why the Torah is so important, not only why it is important, but what it is. There are no references in any bookstore, even amongst the Ashkenazi Jews that have given us a clear understanding of what Torah is. This book not only explains what Torah is, but why it's important for us to understand in this exile the Father's commandments and the Father's rules that He's given to us to be able to live our lives by. So every mitzvot that the Most High has given for us for the exile is in this book. The ones that are germane that only can be applied in the land are not in the book. Questions that we can answer is the Torah good? Explains that. We even go into Hebrews chapter 7 and we explain the narrative that's there that's egregious to the Father's laws and His rules and regulations. It's going to tell you what the Torah is. It's going to explain it in detail. It's a good working tool for you to have, and I hope that you will all benefit from it. And you have friends that want to know what the Torah is, because we spent a lot of time thinking we were teaching Torah all these years when we were simply teaching history and culture, and kind of glazing over the Father's laws and his rules and his regulations. The Ashkenazis say there's 613, but there's no scripture that validates that. And not only there's no scripture that validates it, none of the rabbis agree with what the 613 are. But the one key part of Torah that the Most High has said to us and given to us, one word: obey. Obey. Obey what? You don't know what to obey if you don't know what they are. Psalms 119, which is also in this book, when the king begins to talk about in the opening about his ways, his mitzvot, his laws, his rules. Teach me your laws, your rules. I meditate upon them day and night. You can't meditate upon something that you don't know. So the book Torah for Hebrews and Exiles is available, and there isn't anything in the bookstore that's like it. So you might want to get your copy and learn what the Father's ways and rules are, so that you can be in compliance with him. Well, our teacher for this week and the rest of this month, Ambassador Sean Appleton, is ready to go, and I'm going to release my time to, as they say in Congress, I'm going to yield my time.
Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Here we are again. Beloved, we are here in the presence of the Most High, upon whom all glory and praise is due. I come in that name of our ancestors, the great El of Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, Eye Asher Eye, the one who has sustained us in this exile. In our disobedience, the Most High has allowed us to have grace, so we would have an opportunity to be able to hear these mitzvot and have it resonate sometime in our lives. Some of us, it took us till we were septuagenarians and octogenarians. Some of them are hearing it from the womb. But the Most High has allowed us to be in this time where we are able to have an understanding. That's why I had mentioned before that when we go out and we minister to individuals and the Most High comes up in topic of conversation, that if someone's not receiving it, I still give praise to the Most High, because he's allowed me to see what they can't. And that's not something to take very lightly when you understand the master plan of the Most High. So unto the Most High, I thank him and I give him praise for sustaining me to allow me to meet with you one more time at this holy convocation. I'm not even going to call it a Shabbat. I'll call it what it is, which is a holy convocation. That's one of its attributes. Okay? Now, for those of you that are joining by way of the stream, like I said last time, that stream was hot. Y'all got in there and y'all participated last time. Continue to keep doing that. That's awesome. Make sure that you get in that chat. My children pulled me aside last time and said, Dad, you can't say join the Discord because that's a social media platform. And I said, I don't know what a Discord is. I don't know how y'all young people talk these days. I'm not on any form of social media. So whatever y'all terminology y'all use to get in the chat room, trolling, whatever it is, get in there. We have a ball in there while we out here teaching and sharing the Most High's mitzvot.
So, for all of you joining by way of the stream, and I know that we are across the country, and the majority of our constituency is out in Atlanta, Georgia. To you, I say Shabbat Shalom today. To our ancestors that have brought us here on their shoulders and allowed us to see this Torah. For those of you that are in this house today, we need to wake them up. When I say Shabbat Shalom, we say Shabbat Shalom? All right, we all in the house and accounted for. One of the things, as I understand from my, matter of fact, I can't even go any further without even doing this. I do something every single week that I forgot to do. To the leaders, the two leaders of this house, upon which I take my direction from, the Honorable Robert B. Holman Jr. and Kevin Holman. Shabbat Shalom to you, gentlemen. All right. Now that we're all accounted for and together, I'm going to take a cue off of my mentor. Oftentimes I sat down when we were years past, this would happen. He would get up to speak and he would address the crowd. You know, the gait and pace of his talk is not very fast. He likes to pause in between his stanzas and his words, sounding like an elder statesman. And one time, or a couple of times, matter of fact, he gets up and he says, you know what? The Most High had me somewhere. I had a text all planned for you today. And then the Most High got involved, and now we have to take a detour. So I'm apologizing to everybody up front because we're going to do something different today. The Most High started dealing with me on a particular issue, and I have to go there for a second. So I don't know if we're even going to get here today. Matter of fact, as I'm pulling up my devices, I don't know if this is going to work today. So we're going to change gears for a little bit here. There is a text that I need to go to. And again, we are in our series about Shemuel, right? And we're talking about, anybody remember what happened last time? We probably want to move this out of the way. There was a text. Can anybody remember what we went over last time with Shemuel? What happened? What's going on with King David? Or Melech David at the time? That's true. So where we picked up last time was that he's kind of on the run. All right? He's on the run from Melech Shaul. Okay? And I want to bring something out because one of the elder statesmen in here has a problem with the way that I talk. He never has a problem every single week saying, hey, habla más despacio, muy lento, por favor. Me entiendo un poco en castellano, but muy lento, por favor. Which just simply means in Spanish, you're speaking too fast. Slow down. You understand a little bit of Spanish, but slow down, piquito. Just a little bit. I need to go over something that I breezed over last time that I want to slow down and go over. We're going to go back to chapter number 19. We're going to go to the latter part of chapter number 19 in 1 Shemuel. First Shemuel chapter 19, and I want to actually start. There's 20, 19, there you are. Let's start at 18. And we're going to read down, and I want you to listen to the very end. Now, David has escaped the clutches of Shaul. He's on the run. He goes to the prophet's dormitory in Ramah, which is the hometown of the prophet and Kohen Hagadol at the time, Shemuel, right? So he's there with Shemuel. He's trying to, or he's getting ready to flee. And Michal, his wife, lets him out the window. We have that whole entire dissertation. So let's pick it up at 18 and move forward. This is Shaul now finding out, or Melech Shaul, finding out that David is in Ramah with Shemuel, and he's sending messengers to go ahead and get David and bring him back, or at least kill him. Let's pick up at 18. David fled, and escaped, and then came to Shemuel in Ramah and told him everything Shaul had done to him. So he and Shemuel went and stayed in the prophet's dormitory. The news reached Shaul that David had been seen at the prophet's dormitory in Ramah. Shaul sent messengers to capture David, but when they saw the group of prophets prophesying, with Shemuel standing and leading them, the spirit of Asher fell on Shaul's messengers, and they too began prophesying. Is everybody clear what's happening? He's sending his prophets, or sending messengers. He sees Shemuel with the other prophets prophesying, and then the Spirit of the Most High falls on the messengers of Shaul, and they begin prophesying. We all clear? Okay. 21, when Shaul was told, he sent other messengers, but they too began prophesying. Shaul sent messengers a third time, and they also prophesied. Then he himself went to Ramah. When he arrived at the big cistern of Seku, and asked, "Where are Shemuel and David?" Is everybody clear where we're at? 3 waves of messengers have come, and they all started prophesying. Now Melech Shaul is there himself, seeking to find out where David and Shemuel are. "Where are Shemuel and David?" Someone answered, "They're at the prophet's dormitory in Ramah." Listen, let's slow down, and I want you to pay attention to what's happening. And I want you to understand, I want your impression. See, you're visualizing in your mind what's happening right now. And I want you to just be cognizant of that and be aware and in the moment. And understand, we're going to talk about something that's going to come up here in the next 2 verses. It says, it's 23, while on his way to the prophet's dormitory in Ramah, the spirit of Asher fell on him too. Fell on who? Melech Shaul. And he went on prophesying until he arrived at the prophet's dormitory in Ramah. He also stripped off his clothes, prophesying in Shemuel's presence, and lay there naked all day and all that night. Hence, it continues to be an expression, is Shaul a prophet too? Is something sticking out like a sore thumb? Okay. Well, let's talk about something. When you think of prophecy, what do you think of? In what context? In this context, in this text, as you're visualizing it, what are they prophesying? Go ahead. Something in the future. What could they be prophesying about? Is that a question? He's prophesying, but prophesying about what? It's got to be about something. That's what prophecy is. You've got all of these prophets. You've got Yeshayahu, Yirmeyahu. They're telling you the prophecy. But the text here never really tells you what that prophecy is. Part of this text, now this is going to be a little bit of eisegesis on the text, because this is my interpretation. So I'm giving you this platform right now to understand. This is a way of thinking about this. Because when I first read this, I thought, oh, okay, this could be a good prophecy. He's prophesying something good. But we also have to resolve the issue of why is he laying there naked? Anytime that you look at text, you will find out this is not something good. Let me just say that right now. He is not prophesying anything good right now. Okay? Because of what's happening. He's laying there naked. Okay? Anytime the prophets are talking about anything naked, it's nothing good. Oh, Israel, you've lifted up your skirt on every single hill and showed everyone your nakedness. Okay? You get it? It has to deal with the fact that he's naked. He's in this state of being, it's in a shameful state. So how many people in here, just think about it for a second. If somebody came in here prophesying and was butt naked, what would you be thinking? Are you going to take that prophecy? Exactly. Think about what is going, put yourself in the reality of what's happening. Somebody naked is prophesying right now, okay? But obviously we don't know what that is. But anytime we look at the precedent that has been set in case study, we see that anytime the prophets are prophesying, they're prophesying and nakedness is involved, it's something negative. All right? Now, I got some people that are viewing by way of the stream in Atlanta. I'm going to go somewhere and I want to show you this so you can understand it and see, okay, he's the ambassador's not up there just making it up. There, in a couple of our podcasts, I know Kenya has said, Rabbi Robert B. Holman Jr. is an OG. He get up there and he say a lot of some stuff that'll get your eyebrows raised. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take you to a prophet right now, and this is no dig on the Honorable Robert B. Holman Jr., but I'm getting ready to take you to a prophet right now that makes him look like Girl Scout cookies when it comes to being raw and talking to the people. See, we're very docile up here. But when it comes to your prophets, they don't hold back at all. Okay? Let me show you. Let's go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel is the OG prophet. Ezekiel will cut you off at your knees. I think Ezekiel was probably gangbanging back in the day. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter number 16. And I'm giving you an example. Now, I'm going to go ahead and we should never be ashamed to read the Most High's words and the words of his prophets and emissaries aloud in public. This is raw, what I'm getting ready to read to you guys. I apologize already if there are young people that are in the room and this material that I'm getting ready to read sounds a little inappropriate. Okay? But it is going to be very raw because I want you to get the full impact of how nakedness is something shameful. And because we associate the nakedness with something shameful, he can't be prophesying. So what I'm saying, what is he prophesying about? He's prophesying about the demise of his own kingdom. You will see afterwards that all of the things that Melech Shaul does is a full court press to kill David. The Most High now is making him aware. Out of your own mouth, you're prophesying about the demise and the downfall of your own kingdom. So, what do we see now? David now becomes the enemy of the state. This one man who's on the run, who's not even trying to come after Melech Shaul. He's now the enemy of the state and has only done good for Israel. Now, all of a sudden, because of the prophecy now, you know who this is going to be. Okay? Now, again, that's my eisegesis on the text because it doesn't necessarily say that, but I'm putting pieces together to fill in these gaps to answer the question, what could he be possibly prophesying about? All right, let's go to here. 16, and let's get raw. 30. Woo! This is going to be raw. You got your seatbelt on? This is parental advisory. It says, the prophet is talking about Hebrew Israel. It says, you are so weak-willed, says Eye Asher Eye. And this is to the message to Israel today. This is a prophecy that's today. You do all of these things, behaving like a shameless whore, building your platforms on every street corner, making your high places in every open space, and yet you aren't like a whore because you scorn getting paid. Here is a wife who commits adultery, who goes to bed with strangers instead of her husband. But also, instead of receiving gifts like every other prostitute, you give gifts to your lovers and bribe them to come to you from all over the place and have sex with you. You are the opposite of the other woman. You solicit the fornication. You aren't solicited. You pay them. They don't pay you. You're the opposite. He's saying you're less than a whore. All right, you whore, listen to the word of Eye Asher Eye. Yahweh says, because your filth has been poured out on your privates exposed through your acts of fornication with your lovers, and because of the idols of your disgusting practices, and because the blood of your children which you gave them. Therefore, look, I am going to gather all your lovers to whom you have been so very nice, and all the ones you hate right along with all the ones you do love. I will gather them against you from all over the place and expose your private parts to them so that they will see you completely naked. When we're talking about terms of nakedness, it's shameful. Now, hopefully that gives you a perspective on setting the tone that when you see Melech Shaul from here on out, as we move forward, he's coming after David. He's prophesied it out of his own mouth what's getting ready to happen. So now he's going to be severely upset when he actually gets to his son, Yehohanan, who's harboring this fugitive. And he tells him, you're an idiot because I'm trying to preserve our lineage. I'm trying to preserve this kingdom through you, and you're helping the enemy. Okay? All right. Now, as I thought about that, I said I needed to slow down and take a look at what's happening at the end of chapter number 19. That word nakedness rung out to me for a very, very long time in my head. And I thought about the first time we actually encountered this issue of nakedness. Where do you think the first time we hear about nakedness is at? Look at my Hebrews. I don't have to wait on y'all long at all. Y'all know exactly what's going on. Exactly. When we are in the garden. What happens in the garden? Matter of fact, we need to get this. Where's that microphone at? Where's that cordless microphone? Because we're going to have some class participation right now. So somebody, one of these young folks, they need to go around and if somebody raise their hand, we need to let them hear what in the world is going on out here, what you guys are saying. We're talking about what happened. Now, this is easy. Everybody that's been introduced to Christianity, you start somewhere, right? And you start at the beginning. What happens there? So this should be subject matter that we all know, all right? So let's have some class participation. Tell me about Adam and Eve. Go through the whole entire litany. Tell me what you know. Anybody. Everybody jump up at once. I said, get on that microphone, and everybody's like, oh, no, not me. Okay, so let's start out. I'll go first. That's what they say on the TikTok. What did y'all get on there? Wait, I'll go first. So, Adam was created from the dust of the ground. What else? Keep going. There you go.
Eve was taken from his side.
Eve was taken from his side. Good. What else?
She presented the fruit to Adam.
She did. She presented the fruit to Adam. What else happened? There's a lot of stuff that happens.
They come to acknowledge him that they were naked.
There you go. There you go. And part of the problem here is that we're going to go over this particular text, and we're going to see that at that time when the Most High had Adam and Havel, which is what her name was, nakedness was not a problem. Because they said they looked at each other and they weren't ashamed. So, okay, I'm getting ready to give my thunder away. And I'm going to tell you right now, as I get, because this is where we're going to go, Sister Harless. We're going to be in Bereshit chapter number 2, and we're going to be in Bereshit chapter number 3. This is where the Most High diverted me today. So I'm going to go over this real quick, because I don't think we've actually gone over this from a Hebraic perspective, from a pure Ibir perspective. It's been more Hebristian than anything else. So I want to clean up something. Yes? Say that one more time.
They became aware of their nakedness.
Very good.
They ate from the tree.
So they ate from the tree and they became aware of their nakedness. Yes. Anybody else? What can you remember? They covered. Come on, you got to say it in the microphone, though. Say it with your chest.
They covered themselves with the fig leaves.
They covered themselves with the fig leaves. Yes, they did.
They blame the snake.
They blame the serpent. Passing the buck.
And they were put out.
They were put out. Yes, they were. They were put out. Anybody else? That's what you can remember? Y'all done went to all them years of vacation Bible school. I see what that did. That ain't do nothing for y'all at all. Yes?
They also learned, or they all already knew of honoring the Sabbath.
They knew about honoring the Sabbath.
So they knew a lot of the laws.
They did. I'm going to come back to you for that. What else? We all good? Woo! Okay, I'm glad y'all left me a wide open slate. We're going to fill the gaps in. Nobody wanted to talk about how Adam had all of the animals brought before him. Who brought them? Who brought them? Come on. You need to come up here and help me teach this. Who brought them? Come on, yell it from the back. Who brought all them okay, so did this guy just get up? Because I want to go on what y'all had. Okay, so did this guy actually just go up and just start saying, okay, I'm finding where the insects are over here, and I'm going to go way over there, and I'm going to find where another group of lionesses are. He's not doing that. It says, as the text says that the Most High brought all of these animals before him. All right? Okay? All right. This dissertation that I'm going to do in Bereshit today, again, I'm framing in eisegesis, which means it is my interpretation of what's there. At every base level, you can read it for what it is and not read into it any more than what we're going to do today. But we're going to read into this with a Hebraic mind, okay? I'm giving you the answer already. We're going to read into this with a Hebraic mind. This, at any rate, is not going, I hope this is not going to cause any dissension among any of you. And at the base level, what I want this to do is to at least spark a discussion. At least spark a discussion. Let's go there. Bereshit, chapter number 22. We're going to start at 15. Chapter number 2, verse number 15. 2 and 15. 2, dos. And it reads from the CJB. Let's slow down. Let's make sure we look at it like Hebrews. Okay? 15. Who? Eye asher eye. The El took the person and put him in the Garden of Eden. Now let me stop. Already. Let's understand what happens in chapter number 1. When it says on the 6th day that man was made, he's giving you everything in chapter 1 that was made on its individual day. When we get into chapter number 2, we're going to find out the specifics on what happened that day. That's what chapter 2 sets up. So on the day that they were made, okay? That's what we're talking about. He put him in the garden to cultivate and care for it. Cultivate and care for it. What is Adam's job? He's a farmer. He's a caretaker. He's to care and cultivate that land, right? I got to do something real quick because this is bothering me. I got to lock this screen so it stops moving on me. All right, 16. El gave the person this order. You may freely, let's slow down and ingest this. You may freely eat from every tree in the garden. I'm going to look at you, Livy, every single time. Your word for today is every tree. Let's practice. When I point to you, you're going to say every tree, right? You ready? All right, we got it. Every tree in the garden, except for the tree of knowledge of good and evil. I can't hold it. I can't hold it. I can't hold it. Read it. From the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. How do you know what good and evil is? Through what? Torah. Oh. So wait a minute. This tree, the only way you know emphatically what good and evil is that you have to be cognizant and aware of what Torah is. So let's continue the narrative. Like Hebrews, you are not to eat from it, because on the day that you eat from it, you will become certain that you will die. Let's clean up something else that we were told in Christianity. That these individuals were what? Before the fall was what they call this, which is where they say that sin entered the world. But we're going to prove otherwise, because we're going to see that when they ate from that fruit, what entered the world was their ability for mankind to understand Torah. See how that changes your perspective on how you look at that? It's not all these bad things came into the world. No, it's your ability to cognitively understand what Torah is. And what I'm going to prove to you is that every single action the Most High takes with Adam and Havel is Torah-based. You're going to see a bunch of mitzvot start popping out as we go forward. Why? Because Moshe, who is the writer of this text, assumes you know Torah when you read it. So when you see things and you're like, wait a minute. Y'all have never asked this question before? Why is it when they ate that fruit? See, I'm already off and running. I want to stick to the text, but the Most High won't let me. When they ate that fruit, why is it that, they became aware that they were naked? Come on. And evilness, and you define that, there's mitzvot that are on about nakedness. They became aware of what Torah was, and they said, we're naked. We're violating a mitzvot. I'm telling you, listen, everything the Most High does is a Torah mitzvah, because what? The serpent doesn't lie to them. It says he's crafty and he's cunning, but he doesn't lie. He's doing something very deceitful, and we're going to expose what the serpent's agenda is. And unfortunately, we're going to see Christ here in a second. Now I wet your whistle too much. Now you're like, wait a minute, you talking about Jesus is all out in here. Jesus shows up? Yeah, he does. I'm going to show you where he shows up. Again, eisegesis on the text to spark a conversation. This is my interpretation, looking at it through the glasses of a Hebrew. All right. What did it say? It says in 18, Yahweh El said, it isn't good that the person should be alone. I'm going to read this fast, because this is another misnomer that the Christian church has put into our heads, okay? Listen to the whole entire context. I'm going to 18 to 20 real quick. Yahweh El said, it isn't good for the person that the person should be alone. I will make for him a companion suitable for helping him. So from the ground, Yahweh El formed every wild animal and every bird that flies in the air, and he brought them to the person to see what he would call them. Whatever the person would call each living creature, that was it to be its name. So the person gave names to all of the livestock, to the birds in the air, and to every wild animal. But for Adam, there was not found a companion suitable for him, for helping him. Let me open this up and show you what I'm seeing here. Is that we have this impression that Eve was the first companion for Adam, and she wasn't. What did I just read you? It says that the Most High said that it's not good for man to be alone. So let me make something that will be able to help him. So what he did, he says, I'm going to go in the ground. I'm going to make all these animals, and I'm going to show the animals to Adam. And so when Adam shows up, he's going to say, nope, that's an elephant. You're too big. You can't help me out. You got 2 big feet. Your nose is too long, and you can't come down here where I am. Giraffe. Now, that's not what, I'm using English vernacular and parlance. Giraffe, you're too tall. You're still too tall. Hippopotamus, you're too big and you're in the water. Plus, you don't have all the teeth that I need for you to do what I need to do. I need to cultivate the ground. I need somebody that's going to be able to use their hands. Birds, you have wings. You don't even have arms. He's naming them all as the Most High brings them in front of him so he can see, is this a suitable companion? That's why the text ends with it says, after all that the Most High brought before him, he still didn't find one that was suitable for him. So what did the Most High do? He says, instead of going in the ground and getting an ant and something that's compatible, I'll just go inside him. Pull out the bone from his bone. Let's read what Adam says. We looking at it like we're Hebrews? This is totally different than how we were in Christianity, right? Make a lot more sense, right? Okay. 21. Oh, I can't do that. Them kids gonna get on my nerves. 21. Then El caused a deep sleep to fall upon the person. Let's go back up to 20. It says, the person gave names to all the livestock, to the birds in the air, and every wild animal. But for Adam, there was not found a companion suitable for helping him. So then El caused a deep sleep to fall upon the person. And while he was sleeping, he took one of his ribs instead of the dust of the ground. Took one of his ribs and closed up the place from which he took it with flesh. The rib which El, or Yahweh had taken from the person, he made a woman person, and he brought her to the man person. I want to explain something to you, all right? He basically cloned him. He cloned him. So instead of having a bunch of Adams walking around, I'm going to make the woman person who is distinctly different. All right? Now, we have these 2 distinct people, but they both have the same charge. Adam has no dominion over Havel, the woman person. He has no dominion over her, and she has no dominion over him. They're 2 people, and he now has a person that's helping him alongside cultivate and care for the garden. Right? There is no dominion yet. Yet. Now, let's get to the part where I said I was thinking about this, and it took me back to this portion when I was thinking about Melech Shaul. Oh, excuse me. I don't want to skip over some of the thunder here. Back to 22. The rib which Yahweh had taken from the person, he made a woman person and brought her to the man person. 23. The man person said, at last. Kind of proves what I was saying up above. You brought all this stuff in front of me, all these animals in front of me, and none of them could fit the bill. But now, hurrah! I finally have somebody that can help me. It says, at last, this is bone from my bones and flesh from my flesh. She is to be called woman. And he followed suit and he named her, because she was taken out of man. This is why man is to leave his father and mother and stick with his wife, and they are to be one flesh. They were both naked, and the man and his wife, and they were not ashamed. So at that time, being naked was not a shameful thing. All right? Let's get into chapter 3, because I can't let this go. Now, the serpent was more crafty. He's crafty, he's cunning. That means he's doing what he's doing by means of deceit. But we have to ask ourselves a question as Hebrews. Let's keep going. Was more crafty than any wild animal which Yahweh had made. He said to the woman, did Yah really say, you are not to eat from any tree in the garden? She ain't even paying attention. She ain't even paying attention. What's she supposed to say? Every tree, there you go. Every tree. So is he, okay. He's asking the question. The serpent is asking the question. Did Yahweh say, you are to eat, are you not to eat from any tree in the garden? Answer the question. What did Yahweh tell Adam? So you can eat every tree except for the tree of knowledge of the good and evil. Don't eat from that tree that will give you the ability to understand Torah. Don't eat from it. They didn't design you that way. It's going to get good. I know you're raising your eyebrows right now. Like, I thought we were supposed to be studying Torah. We are supposed to be, because you're living in something that we haven't got to yet. Okay, so just stick with me. So the woman answered the serpent. Evaluate her answer and let me know whether or not she's telling the truth, or did she get it all. Let's see what she says. She says, the woman answered the serpent, we may eat from the fruit of the tree of the garden, but about the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden, Yah said, you are neither to eat from it nor touch it, or you will die. 4, the serpent said to the woman. Now, before we go further, did she say something? Did she say it correctly? What? Wait a minute. Go back. Yes, she did. She said you can eat from every tree except for one. Right? Did she not say that? You're not supposed to touch it either. So that's that extra piece that she's putting in there. So you're right. You're calling me out on something. She's got all of it. She's got some components there, but then she's adding some piece. Right? She's saying, okay, don't touch it. It's in the middle of the garden. She's giving the location of where it is. And then she's adding in there, okay, don't touch it piece, okay? Let's go on. It's in 4. The serpent said to the woman, is it not true that, it is not true that you will surely die, because Yah knows that on the day you eat from it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like Yah, knowing good and evil. He's not lying. He's telling her another component other than the fact to say, no, that's not what Yahweh meant. He's subverting the truth a little bit, okay? So the intention was what? Let's ask a question. What is the serpent's agenda? Have you ever asked that question? Why is the serpent out of the blue one day just come up and just ask this question of Havel? What is his agenda? One says testing her. What else? Come on. I heard just testing. He's testing her. Yeah, he is testing her on what she knows. And she's articulated it back correctly to him and added a little bit. What else? What is his agenda? What is he trying to do? It says the text opens up and says he's crafty and he's cunning. That means that there's an agenda there. What is it? For them not to be obedient? Yes. Woo, we dancing around the campfire with this one. Y'all so warm with the camp. I mean, the fire is right there. All you got to do is just put your foot in it. Okay. His agenda. Granted, let me give you another perspective. Those are all great answers. And again, this is something where I said before, it's sparking a conversation. This is eisegesis on the text. All right? So, let me give you my interpretation of this. His agenda is to, because he's going to, matter of fact, he's going to say it right here. He says his agenda in the answer. And I'm going to take him for what he says. The serpent said to the woman, it is not true that you will surely die, because here's the agenda. God, or El, knows that on the day you eat from it, your eyes will be open and you will be like Yah. That's his agenda. To make these two individuals like Yah in the earth. Yah doesn't talk to the rest of these animals. He talks to these two people. So what is their mandate? We know already that they've been given dominion over every single creature that's out there. So you are our El. We need to make an El in the Eretz. So therefore, if you eat from this tree, you will become like Yah, knowing good and evil, right? So I'm making you an El in the Eretz. The Most High never intended for you to be like him. So anytime somebody like Christ shows up and you guys are making an El in the Eretz, that is against Torah. It's in the beginning. If you see it like a Hebrew, you'll understand. They had this understanding already. You cannot make an El. You cannot have mankind be like the Most High. That's why it's blasphemous in our teachings. When you hear stuff like that, anybody or anything, Astros, poles, Baalim, Molech, I don't care. Christ, I don't care who you call on. If it's not the Most High and it's in the earth, that's what you're doing. You're deifying. She's saying, eat from the tree and be like the Most High. You will be like him. Why do I know that's true? Because what you said earlier, Brother B, is what you said. They got kicked out. And when you read that text, it'll say the reason the Most High kicked them out, it says, let's kick them out now before they eat from the tree of life and become eternal like me. That's the reason they got kicked out. Right. Okay. We good. We tracking okay? Am I losing y'all? Y'all good? Give me the bobblehead. Do something. Okay. I don't know if y'all drinking from the fire hose. Y'all just, like, whoo, my goodness. I've never heard this before. Wow. Let's see here. Let's go back up here. When the woman saw that the tree was what? Good for food, that it had a pleasing appearance, and that the tree was desirable for making one wise. She was curious. I've experienced everything here, but I don't know what this wisdom thing is. Let me eat from this tree and see what this wisdom thing is about. Okay? Good in appearance and desirable for making one wise. She took some of its fruit and ate. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate. Then they became aware of Torah. Both of them were open, and they realized that they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together to make themselves loincloths. There's your first mitzvot right there. When they realized that they were naked. You have mitzvot that are germane to nakedness. When the Most High talks about your Kohanim Gadol cannot come, but he has to dress a certain way, not to reveal his nakedness in front of me. You have in Vayikra chapter number 18, where it talks about sexual relations. You are not to uncover your mother and your father. Those are the types of issues that we're dealing with here. So they're now aware that they're naked. Not because but husband and wife, it's shameful for a husband and wife to see each other naked. It's for the generation that's going to come right after them, because they're going to have 2 kids and they can't be exposed in front of them. So they have to start practicing what? Being clothed. This makes sense. Nothing in this book that Moshe writes is by happenstance. Just because we're in vacation Bible school and we read over it and we didn't have an understanding from an e-bitter perspective, don't mean that it's not valid. I already gave you your first mitzvah already. When their eyes were open, the mitzvah kicked right in. Oh, we need to go get something. All right? Let's fulfill that mitzvah. 8. They heard the voice of Yahweh walking in the garden. Let me say that one more time, just for y'all to understand that Most High is not a man, he's not a person. And the text reads as such. It says, they heard the voice of YAHWEH walking. Come on, come on. His presence was there. Walking through the garden. Does the Most High talk? Absolutely he does. I got an account of it when our ancestors came out of Mitzrayim and they came to Mount Horeb and they said, hey, the Most High introduced himself to them and he spoke to them and they said, no. Moshe, you go up and talk to him or talk to the Most High, not us. It's too deafening. We can't deal with it. So the Most High's presence is walking, and what does it say? It says, walking in the garden at the time of the evening breeze, so that the man and the wife hid themselves in the presence of the Most High. Come on, that's your second mitzvot right there. Whenever are you allowed to be in the presence and the face of the Most High and live? Only the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur once a year gets to go behind the veil. You are not allowed. Matter of fact, Moshe couldn't even do it. The Most High had to turn his back to Moshe because if he saw him, he would have been dead on the spot. That's why they hide themselves. They hid themselves from the Most High because they didn't want to die. And there's this pervasive attitude. Oh, okay. Again, I didn't finish that thought earlier, which is, they weren't going to die anyway. When they were made, they weren't supposed to die. That's not true. Because that text we just read said that it will become known to you that you will certainly die. You knew that you were going to die. Now had some type of understanding that nothing was going to live forever. But now you're going to know. And these are the reasons why you could die. And one of them just popped up. If I'm in the presence of the Most High and I see it, I'm a dead person. Mitzvot, just kick right in. You got 2 of them right there. All right? He says, what is it, 9? Let's go there. Okay, amongst the trees. 9. Yahweh, I'm just going to read it from up here. It looks better if I stop looking down. It says, Yahweh, among the trees of the garden. Yahweh, called to the man, where are you? He answered, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked. I'm violating a mitzvah. So I hid myself. He said, who told you that you were naked? It's a rhetorical question. Let's read what he says afterward. Who told you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree from which I ordered you not to eat? There's you. There's Havel. Who else is here? Nobody. So nobody would have told you that you were naked. So the only reason I know that you're naked is because you ate from that tree of the wisdom of Torah, and it says that you were violating the mitzvah. Now you're aware that you're naked. So now you just confirmed that you violated the mitzvah. Look at the Most High's behavior. It doesn't change. He's making them aware of what they did. You violated the mitzvah. And do we not have mitzvahs that says even when you are unaware and your transgression becomes known to you, you become guilty of it? Is there anything that the Most High is doing right now that's not a mitzvah? He's just continuing to be himself from day one. Have you eaten from the tree from which I ordered you to eat? The man replied, the woman you gave me, she gave me fruit from the tree, and I ate. Yahweh El said to the woman, what is this have you done? The woman answered, the serpent tricked me, and I ate. YAHWEH said to the serpent, because now, what do we do in true Hebrew fashion? Now that you've become aware of your transgression, here's your atonement. Yahweh said to the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed more than any livestock and wild animals. You will crawl on your belly and eat the dust as long as you live. I will put animosity between you and the woman, and between her descendants and your descendants and her descendants. He will bruise your head, and you will bruise his heel. Now, I'm going to do something real quick, all right? I try my best never to spiritualize the text, but today I'm going to. This is a spiritualization of the text. I'm going to draw an analogy here. This is not here. This is me talking, okay? Symbolically, what does this mean for me? This means as such. Since you decided to deceive the woman and the man, to make them like me, to put a people or humankind in the earth and make them like me, I'm going to curse you to the ground. It tells us a couple different things. It means that they had a cognitive ability to speak and reason, and 2, they could walk. Because you did this transgression, you will eat the dust of the ground. You will bruise his heel, they'll bruise your head. Catholic Church, since you have decided to put man as an L in the earth, your descendants will be eating the dust of the ground, and the descendants of Hebrew Israel will crush your head. Any entity, I don't care if it's Islam, I don't care what it is, you are deciding to put man as an L, because that is what the agenda of the serpent was to make these two individuals like the Most High. They have the knowledge, wisdom. What does it say in Proverbs 8? Wisdom was there in the beginning when everything was being formed. I was there. So when did wisdom just cut out of the scene for all of a sudden? Wisdom was in the garden as well. So we have this issue of any entity that's putting man as a deity will be cast to the ground. Hebrew Israel, because we are the descendants of Adam, will crush their head as they try to bruise our heel. But we are always upright and victors at the end. It's the things and images that we see within the text at the beginning. To the woman, he said, I will now, let's get to the woman, because this is going to not preach anywhere. What's T.D. Jakes' daughter? She got that ministry that's out now. What's the name of it? Y'all know what it is? I know they know what it is, probably over on that chat room in Woman Now Are Loosed. Okay. I'm going to tell you one thing. I challenge you to get up in front of your people, and I hope this, y'all need to tag her or do whatever. This teaching right here. Get up in front of your people and teach these next verses in its totality. To the woman, because like I said, when they're in the garden, man doesn't have dominion over the woman, and woman doesn't have dominion over the man. They're just two people who have an egalitarian way of walking, and their jobs is to cultivate that and care for the garden. One has no dominion over the other. It says now, what it says, to the woman, he says, I will greatly increase your pain in childbirth. That mean that, okay, well, she was supposed to give childbirth and actual enjoy. She wasn't supposed to have an orgasm while she's giving childbirth. That doesn't work like that. What that text reads right there, it says, I will greatly increase it. Childbirth at that particular time was something that would have probably given you some discomfort, but what did he say? You will bring forth children in pain. So the pain aspect of childbearing is what was put on top of what was already there. Okay? Your desire. Now, this is the part that will never get taught. I don't care if it's her church or anybody's church. You sure won't hear it at Calvary Christian Center tomorrow. You won't hear it nowhere else. You won't hear it up on the hill at Destiny's Church or at Bayside. I can tell you this, because the moment somebody of the cloth gets up and there's a move in the spirit and they try to teach this, that's the move of them off of that pulpit forever. Look at what the Most High says, because what was her curse? I shouldn't say her curse, but what's going on here? What does he say? Your desire will be towards your husband. So, let's break that down, ladies. I got to talk to you for a second. If every woman, now come on, help me out. I don't want to be out of bounds. Every woman, unless there's something amiss, has the ability to bear children. Yes or no? Yes. Now, will they do it in pain? So that is applicable to every woman. So if we continue to read on, Christian church, you will also understand that what? Your desire should be for whom? Your husband. But he will rule over you. Remember when I said earlier? I said it was egalitarianism. One person didn't have a rule over the other one. But as a part of your teaching here, your atonement, the Most High says, now you're going to have a desire for your husband, and he shall have rule over you. So there's a couple of things that's here. If you want me to believe that you don't want a man or need a man, you're absolutely wrong. Because if you have the ability to have childbirth, then you have a desire to have a husband. So all you LGBTs out there who keep thinking that you're going to get with a butch dude, which is a slap in the face to men, because all that is y'all trying to act like us and pulling off a poor job doing it. Okay? If you think that that's what that is, that's not what we're talking about. The husband has the rule. And I'm going to tell you what, all the Most High is doing, he's not giving her a curse. He's reminding her what the Torah mitzvot is, because we got a litany of Torah mitzvot that says the man is in control of the relationship. The man brings the woman to the marriage. The man lets the woman go. There's certain things that the woman has to abide by as a wife. And there's certain mitzvot that the husband has to abide by as a husband. They just kicked in. So I just want to remind you, that's not a curse. All he's doing is reminding her of a Torah mitzvot that she just acquired. Oh. I probably, in this first 2 chapters of text, or in our Masoretic text, I probably covered maybe a third of the mitzvot that are there. Because if you talk about all of the ones that pertain to women, husbands, relationships, you talk about all the ones that are germane to nakedness and being set apart, all of these ones start kicking in. They know about them already. We're just finding out about the ones that are being germane to their particular situation right now. All right? To Adam, he says, because you listened to what your wife said and ate from the tree about which I gave you the order, you are not to eat from it. The ground is cursed on your account. You will work hard to eat from it as long as you live. Oh, when you come and see me, I want all your first fruits from the ground that you now have to work as tribute to understand what your atonement is. Why am I bringing first fruits from the ground? What difference does that make? Other than the fact to say, hey, the Most High has blessed us with another bounty. It's part of my mandate as a man. I have to work the ground to bring these first fruits to the Most High. That's what he tells him. Now, that's for our agricultural time. We don't necessarily live in that particular time right now, but you can understand from a Hebrew perspective what we're talking about. You are to, where did I leave off at? It said, it will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat field plants. You will eat bread by the sweat of your forehead till you return to the ground, for you were taken out of it. You are dust, and you return to the dust. The man called his wife Hava, life, because she is the mother of all living. Eye Asher Eye did another mitzvah. Come on, which one is this one? He said, Eye Asher Eye made garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them. He didn't make them the same thing. Because there's a mitzvot that says in Devarim 22, chapter number 22, verse 5, that says, you shall not wear the clothes of a man, and a man shall not wear clothes of a woman. So he had to go and show them, this is what a woman wears, and this is what a man wears. And you don't intermingle the two. I'm just interacting a mitzvot that's already here. I'm trying to show you that everything the Most High does is consistent to the mitzvot and will not step out of them. So it's powerful for you to understand that when you know them and you can pray them back or speak them back to him, he's bound to the same thing. That's why it's germane to say, okay, I understand. Now we have the knowledge of the Most High is concerning these mitzvot. Because the same mitzvot that I'm bound to, he's bound to. You're bound to oaths, aren't you? The Most High made an oath to whom? Abraham said, I'm going to deliver these people. What is that? It's a mitzvot. We're going to jump into chapter number 20 and 21 next time I get up. Let me bless you on my way out the door. You got something today? All right. Yivareka Yahweh v'yishmereka Yair Yahweh panav eleka v'huneka Yisai Yahweh panav eleka v'yasham laka shalom. Which simply means, may Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Yahweh make his face to shine on you and show you his favor, that power above all powers, the beneficent. May Yahweh lift up his face towards you and give you, all of you, Ibir, shalom.